This image, this face, instantly recognizable. It has come to symbolize rebellion, revolution, and the fight against oppression. This is Ernesto Che Guevara. Born in Argentina in 1928, Che's life was anything but ordinary. He could have lived a comfortable life as a doctor. Instead, he chose a different path, one filled with danger, sacrifice, and ultimately martyrdom. Che's journey took him from the bustling cities of Argentina to the remote villages of Latin America. He witnessed poverty, injustice, and the heavy hand of imperialism. These experiences ignited a fire in him, a burning desire for change that would consume his life. This essay explores the life of Che Guevara, from his early days as a medical student to his transformation into a global icon of revolution. Ernesto Guevara was born into a middle-class family in Rosario, Argentina. He was a bright and curious child, excelling in his studies. He suffered from asthma, but it didn't stop him from being athletic. Che decided to pursue a career in medicine, enrolling in the University of Buenos Aires. He was a dedicated student, deeply interested in alleviating human suffering. However, his studies did not blind him to the social inequalities around him. During his time in university, Che embarked on 2 motorcycle journeys that would profoundly shape his worldview. These trips exposed him to the poverty and exploitation rampant in Latin America. Che witnessed firsthand the struggles of indigenous populations, the plight of peasants, and the brutal realities of US imperialism. He began to question the existing social order and the role of the United States in perpetuating inequality. Che's first motorcycle journey took him through Argentina, Chile, and Peru. He encountered miners suffering from silicosis, indigenous communities marginalized by society, and the remnants of ancient Inca civilizations. These experiences left an indelible mark on Che. He began to see the world through the lens of social justice, recognizing the systemic forces that perpetuated poverty and oppression. His medical training gave him a unique perspective on human suffering. Che's second journey, documented in his book, The Motorcycle Diaries, took him through Bolivia, Peru, Ecuador, Colombia, and Venezuela. This trip further solidified his growing political consciousness. He witnessed the exploitation of workers on banana plantations, the brutal realities of US-backed dictatorships, and the growing discontent among the masses. Che began to see revolution as the only viable solution to the injustices he witnessed. The Motorcycle Diaries is more than just a travelogue. It's a chronicle of Che's political awakening. His writing is raw, honest, and filled with a growing sense of urgency. He grapples with the poverty he encounters, the exploitation he witnesses, and the need for radical change. Che's experiences on the road transformed him. He returned to Argentina a changed man, his medical career taking a back seat to his burgeoning revolutionary spirit. He had seen the face of oppression and he was determined to fight it. The seeds of revolution had been sown. Che began to immerse himself in Marxist literature, studying the works of Marx, Lenin, and Trotsky. He joined political groups, engaging in debates and discussions about social justice and the need for revolutionary change. Che's medical background continued to inform his worldview. He saw the health problems of the poor as symptoms of a larger social disease, poverty, inequality, and oppression. He believed that true healthcare could only be achieved through revolution. Meeting Fidel and the Cuban Revolution. In 1955, Che met Fidel and Raúl Castro in Mexico City. The Castro brothers were planning to overthrow Batista's dictatorship in Cuba. Che joined their cause, recognizing a shared commitment to social justice. He quickly became one of Fidel's most trusted lieutenants. Che's medical skills were invaluable to the rebels. He treated wounds, boosted morale, and provided humanity in war. Che was also a skilled strategist and fearless fighter. He played a pivotal role in the Cuban Revolution. Section 6, From Guerrilla to Government. After 2 years of fighting, the Cuban Revolution triumphed in 1959. Batista fled the country, and Fidel Castro emerged as the leader of a new Cuba. Che, hailed as a hero of the revolution, was appointed as Minister of Industries and President of the National Bank. Che's role in the new government reflected his belief in the need for fundamental social and economic change. He oversaw the nationalization of industries, implemented land reforms, and worked tirelessly to improve the lives of ordinary Cubans. As president of the National Bank, Che sought to break Cuba's dependence on foreign capital, particularly from the United States. He believed in economic independence as a cornerstone of true sovereignty. Despite his administrative duties, Che never abandoned his revolutionary ideals. He continued to advocate for armed struggle as a means of liberation for oppressed people around the world. He believed that the Cuban Revolution was just the beginning, a spark that could ignite a global conflagration against imperialism. Section 7. Spreading the Revolution. Che's commitment to international revolution put him at odds with some members of the Cuban government who favored a more pragmatic approach. Che, however, remained a staunch believer in the need for global solidarity among oppressed people. He traveled extensively, representing Cuba at international conferences and meeting with revolutionary leaders from around the world. He spoke out against US imperialism, advocated for armed struggle, and inspired a generation of young revolutionaries. Che's writings and speeches during this period cemented his status as a global icon of revolution. His message of resistance resonated with students, intellectuals, and activists who saw in him a symbol of hope and defiance. However, Che's unwavering commitment to armed struggle and his belief in the need for violent revolution also drew criticism. His detractors accused him of being a ruthless ideologue who glorified violence. Section 8. Congo and the Call of Internationalism. In 1965, driven by his belief in international revolution, Che left Cuba to support a guerrilla movement in the Congo. He believed that Africa was the next battleground in the struggle against imperialism. Che and a small group of Cuban fighters joined forces with Congolese rebels seeking to overthrow the US-backed government. However, the mission was fraught with difficulties from the outset. The Congolese rebels were plagued by internal divisions, and Che found it difficult to adapt his guerrilla tactics to the unfamiliar terrain and political landscape of Central Africa. The mission ended in failure, and Che, disillusioned and suffering from illness, was forced to flee the country. The Congo experience was a setback for Che, but it did not diminish his belief in the need for international revolution. He remained convinced that the struggle against imperialism was a global one and that solidarity among oppressed people was essential for victory. Section 9. The Bolivian Campaign. After a brief period of recuperation, Che embarked on his final revolutionary campaign in Bolivia in 1966. He believed that the conditions were ripe for revolution in the impoverished South American nation. Che and a small group of guerrillas established a base camp in the remote Bolivian mountains. They hoped to spark a peasant uprising against the US-backed military government. However, the Bolivian campaign proved to be Che's undoing. The guerrillas faced a well-equipped and trained Bolivian army, supported by US intelligence and military advisors. Che's attempt to mobilize the local peasantry met with limited success. The peasants, wary of government reprisals, were reluctant to join the guerrillas. Isolated and outnumbered, Che's small band of fighters was gradually worn down by the relentless pursuit of the Bolivian army. Section 10. Capture and Execution. On October 8, 1967, Che Guevara was captured by Bolivian soldiers in the village of La Higuera. He had been wounded in battle and was unable to escape. Che was taken prisoner and held in a small schoolhouse. The Bolivian government, under pressure from the United States, decided to execute Che. They feared that his capture would turn him into a martyr and inspire further revolutionary activity. On October 9, 1967, Che Guevara was executed by a Bolivian soldier in the schoolhouse in La Higuera. His last words were reportedly, "I know you are here to kill me. Shoot, coward, you are only going to kill a man." Che's death sent shockwaves around the world. His supporters mourned his loss while his detractors celebrated his demise. However, Che's execution had the unintended consequence of transforming him into a legend, a martyr for the revolutionary cause. Section 11. Legacy of a Revolutionary. Che Guevara's legacy is complex and contested. He remains a divisive figure, hailed as a hero by some and condemned by others. His image is ubiquitous, appearing on t-shirts, posters, murals, and tattoos. Che has become a global symbol of rebellion and the fight against oppression.